Hello, everyone. Welcome to a very special Spoonful podcast. I am one of your hosts, Mario Pacuadillo, and joining me, as always, is Mr. Emmett Watkins Jr. What's up, dude?
Greetings. Welcome to the end of the year 2022. I'm wearing a shirt that I got for Christmas. I'm
Nice,
very
nice.
happy.
I'm wearing a sweater I got for Christmas as well. Uh,
Hey, tag team Christmas attire.
let's
There we go.
go. This is our end of the year episode. It's actually coming out in the new year, so it's perfect. It's gonna be like a little retrospective of everything that happened. We're recording this on the 30th, so we did it the perfect timing possible. We're doing what we're calling the Spoonies, right? Not to be
Yeah.
confused with the Spawnies. Khalif Adams, don't sue us.
Yeah, we replaced the AW with two O's. It's all
Yeah,
good.
it's
Keep them distinct.
fair use, fair use.
Yeah.
Where we decided mostly I'll give credit to Emmett here, where I originally would just propose for us to do like a game of the year episode, right? Like your traditional one. But since we're Spoonful and our whole thing is that we're not just bound to one thing, we don't just talk about games. Obviously, we love games and we talk about them on the show a lot, but we talk about anything we want. It's in the rigmarole, you know it very well. So we have a lot of different categories. We're gonna get into that, but first, let me tell you that this is the Spoonful Podcast. This is a show where Emmett and I get together and talk just about anything we want. It goes live every other Tuesday and on YouTube TV, youtube.com/at
Glad
Spoonful Vids.
we go.
Yeah,
YouTube TV. Shout
YouTube
out to
TV.
that. Subscription cable
I think
things.
I'm coming back from a trip. People, a little will lift the curtain. Literally, I landed today and I had a delay and it was a whole thing, but we're home. I haven't even unpacked. I literally the first thing I did is record, so I'm a little fuzzy.
God bless you. I also meant to ask because I just noticed this like right as we recorded. Yeah, what happened there? For
Yeah,
listeners at home,
listeners at
we got a little
home.
cast or something, or
Yeah,
maybe
I
not.
have a like a wrist brace thing, right? Because we went. Him and I went to West Virginia to go see my dad.
Nay too hard? What happened?
I I sprained my wrist snowboarding, so that's. I thought
Okay.
I broke it. I thought I broke it. So I'm glad with the sprain because it started getting swollen and it started getting purple and it was very painful and I could barely move it and I'm like, shit, did I just break my wrist? Literally an hour into us skiing. So we didn't get to enjoy our ski day at all. Uh
Oh,
but thankfully it's just a sprain, only sticking to one bone breaking in 2022, which was my back. So
oh well. Hallelujah. Keep those broken bones to a
yeah.
minimum. And also, I will say that's a pretty badass thing to hurt your
Oh,
wrist doing.
dude,
Like,
100
oh,
fucking
go for
percent.
it.
I was telling him, man, I'm like, listen, even if I did break it, I'll say that shit proudly. I broke my wrist snowboarding. That's badass.
Yeah. Tried
Breaking
to hit
your
him in twist
back,
and now I don't have a finger.
breaking breaking your back on a trampoline, not badass at all. Very
Mm,
sad, very bad.
no context in which breaking your back is badass, but trampolining is pretty
Is
badass, just not with the back break.
if I'd broken my back snowboarding and I tell that to people, it's like, damn, that sucks. But it's also like, that's fucking cool. Look at this fucking guy on a
Yeah,
trampoline. It's like, ah, shit.
yeah, should have bounced off. Oh, that wasn't great. Not my finest work. But then the year's ending, I can refresh in a little
There you go. There
bit.
you go. 2023. We're a New Year's resolution. So we're gonna get into the Spoonies, ladies, gentlemen, and non-binary folk at home. However, if you'll recall, if you've been an attentive listener of the show and you follow me on Twitter and you've seen my Twitter journey of this year being the year that I've played and beaten the most games in my life, right? At some point, I went ahead and I said I was going to rank every single game that I beat in the year 2022. And I'm not talking about games that came out in 2022. I'm just talking about all the games that I beat. I beat a total of 46 games in 2022.
God damn it, you're a monster.
The only one
Oh.
that isn't going in this ranking is actually 47 games. Sorry, I forgot about one. There's two that aren't in this ranking because they're games that I replayed. To me, they do not count, which those games are Until Dawn and Limbo. They don't count.
Mm.
I already beat those games prior. Every single one of these games that I'm going to rank in order of how much I love them is new to me. I beat it. Some of them I started before, but I beat it for the first time in 2022.
Ooh.
This was tough to do. This was grueling to do. I did it on the plane. I was telling Emmett before we started recording, everyone. the literally like the top 10 is like not even like the top 15 has like 13 of my favorite games ever made. So it was very fucking hard to do it,
Good God.
but we're
Well,
here.
hey, I will silently judge, but I will interject if I have to call you out or disagree with you loudly on
Yeah.
anything.
I think
Just
there's
feel free.
one point, and as I was writing it, I'm like, this one might Emmett might kill me for this one in particular.
Ooh,
So
okay.
we'll see. I don't want to take up the whole space of the show. Most of the show is for the Spoonie, so I'm gonna try to go as quick as I can through the list. I'm not gonna do a whole spiel for every game, but if there's something noteworthy for me to point out, I will point it out. I'll say maybe a quick sentence, right? So let's do this. 45 games ranked, every single game that I beat in the year 2022. At number 45, Aperture Desk Job. It's literally just, if you've played it, you get it. It's fun, but I can't really rank it as a game that I love.
Wii Sports of Steam Deck, yes.
Yes, 100%, 100%. Number 44 is Minute, Jared Petty classic. Uh, I like the idea, but at the end of the day, I had to use a lot of guides to get through it, and that's not fun. Number 43, You Suck at Parking, a game that started out super fun for me. I was loving it at first, but the later levels, the difficulty spike is fucking insane. And to the point where I had deleted the game, I had stopped playing, but I re downloaded it to beat it strictly out of spite. And I did. Number 42, a sad one for me personally, Mario Strikers Battle League. Uh,
Uh,
now, I will say, I don't think there's a single bad game on this list. I don't think I played one bad game this year. But there's games that are lacking things to me. Mario Strikers Battle League is a game that feels great to play, and I'm so happy that exists, but very lackluster in terms of content. Very, very lackluster. Number 41, this what might shock some people, Undertale. I just don't vibe with Undertale like y'all do. I I think the story's cool. I like what it does. I like the pacifist run. That's what I did. But I think it's annoying to play. I didn't enjoy playing it. It's ugly. I get that that's part of the charm, but it's an ugly fucking game.
damn.
I love the music in
Listening
it.
on this episode.
I love the music in it. I think the writing is super cool. Some of the core messages struck a chord with me, but at the end of the day, like I said, I don't think it's a bad game. I enjoyed it, but every other game in this list I enjoyed more. Now we're in the section that I like to call like games that basically are very good and are missing a couple things, right? We have Unpacking at number 40. I loved it, but I think I did myself a disservice because I beat it all in one sitting, and by the end of it, I was sick of it. Number 39, Bowser's Fury. It's fun, and I love the concept of an open world Mario. But once again, it's built on 3D world, and it feels a little weird. It doesn't run the best all the time, and by the end, it's getting a little old. Number 38, Concrete Genie. Love
Mm.
3/4 of this game, and then at the end, it turns into a weird beat 'em up for no fucking reason, and that really took the wind out of its sails for me.
Mm.
Number 37, Far Cry 6. A little bit disappointing for me. I love the Far Cry games. There wasn't anything wrong particularly with Far Cry 6, but there's something just about how they messed with the formula of the game that I wasn't interested in doing side quests at all, and I basically just mainlined it, and I normally don't do that for Far Cry games. Number 36 is Lake. Such a good time, right? It's you're chilling, zen vibes. I was out there living my lesbian dreams. It's janky as all hell, right? The acting isn't the best. The budget shows it sometimes, but it's charming as hell. I loved it. Number 35, Point P. A lot of people don't know Point P. Let me put you on Point P. This is a
Huh.
Netflix game. Netflix has games. It's a Netflix games, and it's from the same creator as Downwell. Downwell is one of my favorite fucking games. Point P is basically reverse Downwell. You're trying to go up. You're kind of like shooting a little guy and pointing it at like he's zigzagging off of the walls, and you're collecting fruits to get to as high up as you can. When I downloaded this game, it became an obsession. I played it for like 5 days straight until I beat it. Excellent, excellent game. If you have Netflix, go play Point P. Number 34, Metal Hellsinger. Super fun. The
Ooh,
you know
there we go.
the combination of doom and rhythm game with dope metal music works, no doubt. The game part of it falls a little short in my opinion at some point because boss battles are the same, but they're very repetitive. There's not a lot of enemy variety. So at some point, the game aspect of it loses a little bit of charm once you get used to the combination of the two genres, but it's still fun as hell.
Oh
Number
yeah.
33, Escape Academy. Escape Academy, such fun puzzles. Really enjoyed my time with it. Nothing particularly wrong with this game. It's just that I can't rank this super high
Real quick on that one, local co-op or by yourself?
by myself.
Okay, okay.
I've heard that
That
it's a
might
lot of
be
fun with people, but it can ruin some of the puzzles. I played it by myself, and the puzzles, it hits that beautiful sweet spot of like they're not too hard, but you still feel really smart when you solve them. That's what I really enjoyed about it.
excellent. I might
Number
check that one.
32 and number 31 are kind of ending that gap of games that I think have something missing. Every game coming forward is a really solid game, not a lot of complaints about it. And the reason why I'm making number 32 and number 31, The Last of Us Part 1 Left Behind and The Last of Us Part 1, is not because I think they're not great games. The Last of Us is one of my favorite games of all time. I have 2 Last of Us tattoos. It's just that compared to the other games that I played this year, this is a remake. It wasn't a new experience per se. I didn't want to put it last, so that's why I put it in this middle ground of starting to get into really good games. But realistically, I can't rank this number 1 when it's a remake. It's a great remake, but remake nonetheless.
Indeed.
Number 30, TMNT Shredder's Revenge. Not a beat 'em up guy, but that game was a ton of fun. Music is dope. Number 29, The Quarry. I played this right after I beat Until Dawn with Jimena. We had a blast. Really fun game.
Hell
Number
yeah.
28, Injustice 2, one that I had my eyes on for forever. I love the story of the first one. The story of this one is cool. And even though I'm bad at fighting games, I felt like I was good at fighting games. Number 27, Metroid Zero Mission, the first game I played on Steam Deck. Shout out to MU Steam. Yeah,
Indeed.
just it was a good one for me to pick. Number 26, Superliminal, fun puzzle game. Really fun puzzle game. I enjoyed it.
Great game.
Great game. Great game. Very fun. Number 25, Her Story. The first time that I played a Sam Barlow game, loved it, really enjoyed it. I played it while I had COVID, and I basically obsessed with it for a whole day, and it was a ton of fun. Number 24, Stray. Love Stray. I'm a big Stray guy.
Very
I
biased,
love.
as you see from the background.
I am biased. This game is for cat lovers. I think it's a fun game, but if you have attachment to cats, you're gonna love this game even more. And yeah, it's the best cat game ever. Number 23, Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
Whew.
So,
Hell yeah.
So
Hell
this is
yeah.
the one where I thought you might be mad at me because it does rank fairly low, but in my defense, I think it's a great game. I think it's a ton of fun. The only thing I'll ding Kirby on is that I wish getting like, I forget if it's 3 stars or whatever it is, get fully completing a level was more fun. I got really tired of it at some point. Like the first 2,
Mm.
like the first half of the game, maybe I was going back to every level to complete the levels, and I got tired of that pretty quick. But once I started mainlining it, I really like that game. It's a fun game.
Yeah, it's a very simple game, which is why I'm not so mad it's like relatively low. But I like it a lot because it's my first exposure. But if you're really into intricate games like
Yeah.
that, you might not love it as much.
It
So
was
I
fun,
understand
dude.
that.
It was while I was playing Kirby and the Forgotten Land, I was playing 2 games at the same time. It was Bloodborne and Kirby and the Forgotten Land. And let me tell you, that is a dichotomy, man.
Well, there are things that suck in both games, so
Those are very different games.
vampires and pink blobs.
Yep. Amen. Amen. Number 22, Ghost Runner. Man, one of the best games of making you feel like a badass, dude. When you clear out a room, you feel like the baddest motherfucker ever. Some
Yeah.
puzzle sections that I just wish weren't there because they kind of kill the pacing of the game, but you can't deny how badass you feel when you clear out a room. Number 21, Power Wash Simulator. I was obsessed with this game. I
Ooh.
played like 50 hours of Power Wash Simulator, dude.
Oh my god.
I
Way more than me.
It became an obsession. I cleared every level. Fucking love that game. Number 20, my COVID game. My true COVID game while I was in quarantine is Tinykin. Dude, what a fucking great
Hell
game.
yeah.
Shit came out of nowhere and it's awesome. Such fun, such great platforming, such good level design. Perfect if you have COVID. Number 19,
I'll
Manifold
make sure you get
Garden.
COVID so I can play it.
Get COVID and play it. Number 19, Manifold Garden. Shout out to Blessing Adeoye Jr. He recommended this game to me for forever and recommended this game to a lot of people for forever. I started it a while ago, dropped it, never touched it again. Tried to play it while high one time, and that was not. I was running in circles for 45 minutes.
I can imagine.
But
Good God.
such a cool puzzle game, so trippy, fucking awesome, good times. Number 18, the first game I beat in 2022, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. Hellblade,
Oh, man.
what a
On my
fucking.
pile of shame, man. I got like 2 hours into it and just haven't come back for
That's
whatever
what I
reason, but
did the
yeah.
first time, dude. Like I played only 2 hours and never came back to it. And then at the beginning of 2022, I was like, you know what? I'm clearing out my backlog. This is one of the games that I started. And let me tell you, dude, it's a fucking great game. It continues. The storytelling is so unique. One of those great showcases of like why games are special and they can do stuff that nothing else can. And the game gets a lot scarier than I thought. Like it's straight up horror at times. It's fun.
Mhm.
Number 17, Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. So cute. What a fucking awesome art style. It has the worst dungeon that I've ever played in a Zelda game. And everyone will pretty much agree. I forget the name of it. I think it's Eagle Tower. I think that's the name of it. Bad fucking dungeon. I had to use a guide for it. And it's widely recognized as one of the worst dungeons in Zelda history. But everything else about that game is delightful. Number 16, Neon White. Neon White is a great fucking
Oh,
game, dude.
there you go. There you go, Barrett Courtney. We talked about it.
There you go, Barrett. Love you. Number 16, man, in a list of 45. It's a really fun game. I got obsessed with it. I even dug the story. Number 15. Now, a quick pause here for everyone. As you know, 2022 was the first time that I played From Software games in my life. And I beat 5 From Software games this year. And if you've noticed, I haven't mentioned a single From Software game. This
Oh
next
God.
game is the only From Software game that is not in my top 10.
Ooh, can I guess? Is it Dark Souls 2?
I actually
Or
haven't played Dark Souls 2,
okay,
funny
I was
enough.
about to say I felt like you skipped that one.
It's Demon
Is it
Souls Remake. Demon Souls Remake is an
Oh, okay.
incredible game. It's beautiful. It's probably the prettiest Souls game or From Software game, but it does show that it's the earliest From Software game. It's still great and it still has some of the core things that I adore from it, but later entries improve, and we'll get into that. Number 14 and number 13. For 14, we have Cuphead, the Delicious Last Course, and number 13, we have Cuphead. Cuphead is incredible. Fucking every time you see the got it screen at the end, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, I got the Art of Cuphead book in
Every
here.
time
This
you
the
beat a fucking level is the greatest feeling in the planet. Some of the most beautiful games you'll ever play, and I'm very glad I finally beat them both this
yeah,
year.
it's the
Number
greatest game I
12.
will never play.
Dude, it's so fucking hard, but it's so much fun.
Yeah.
Number 12, my 2021 game of the year, Deathloop.
Hell
Deathloop is
yeah.
fantastic. I know you're a Deathloop guy. Deathloop's
I
great.
respect.
Fucking such a good time. What else can I say about it? Number 11, Control. Control is another one that I had
Oh,
started and dropped it, restarted in 2022, became totally obsessed with it, was all I played. What a beautiful game. What a fucking world. And the ashtray maze sequence is the coolest moment in a fucking video game ever. That shit is so cool.
hell yeah. Hell yeah. Stop sleeping on Control, y'all. That
Oh
sequel's
my
gonna kill
god.
us all in a good
Incredible.
way.
Incredible stuff, man.
Hell yeah.
Number 10, Super Mario 3D World, man. Talk about a backlog game. I've been wanting to play this game since the Wii U era. And when it came out, I bought it, never got around to it. So glad I finally did. Such a good best of both worlds of 3D Mario and 2D Mario design. Fucking incredible game. Immaculate. Excellent, 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 excellent video game. Number 9, Horizon Forbidden West.
Whoop, whoop.
You've
Here we
heard me.
go.
You've heard me talk about Horizon. I love both Horizon games. I think Guerrilla outdid themselves. The story, the characters, the action, the gameplay is fucking incredible. The world is unbelievable. I'll never ever ever forget the Poseidon sequence of Horizon Forbidden West. One of my favorite
Oh, hell
sequences
yeah.
ever in any video game. Shout out to Guerrilla. I played a lot of really fucking good games. Number
Porn.
8, Dark Souls
Mhm.
Remastered. Dark Souls Remastered is some of the best level design you'll ever see in your life is in Dark Souls. Number 7, Returnal, one of those that I had stopped playing and picked back up. Another blessing at AOA Junior Classic. Got so fucking obsessed with Returnal until I beat it. It was all I could think about. Excellent game. Number 6, Sifu. Fucking Sifu's awesome, dude.
Mm.
Sifu is the spiritual successor to Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, and that's the best thing I can say about it because number 5 is Sekiro Shadows Die Twice.
Wow, very impressive.
Sekiro
That's
has the best combat I've ever played in a video game. That's all I can say. The best
fun.
combat ever. Number
I'll definitely look
4.
into it.
This might shock a lot of people as it shocked me. Number 4, God
It's
of
gonna shock
War
it.
Ragnarok.
Oh, that's not what I thought you were gonna say. That is fairly shocking, though.
God of
Huh.
War Ragnarok. Listen, when I'm telling you, this is one of my favorite games ever made. No, like, not exaggerating. One of my favorite games to ever be created. I enjoyed it. It's a 10 out of 10. It's a fucking masterpiece. But I have 3 other masterpieces above it.
Wow, you had one hell of a year.
I did, man. I played a lot of fucking good games. Number
Ooh.
3, Near Automata. Come on, man.
Oh, hell yes.
Come
Okay,
on,
this is worth
dude.
everything. This is worth everything.
Come
Oh,
on.
man.
It's
If
it's
yeah,
Near.
yeah.
If you've played it, you know. It's fucking incredible. Number
Makes sense.
2. Number 2. The top 3, honestly, this is a ranking I landed on, but I could put it in any order and probably be happy with it. And especially number 1 and 2. I'm still not sure if this is how I truly feel, but it might be, but I don't know. But both of these games are so excellent. Number 2, we have Elden Ring. Man,
Mm.
if you followed along on this podcast, you know that I burned myself out on Elden Ring after playing
Oh,
all
yeah.
the From Software games, and I gave myself a break on it. Before I left for West Virginia, I started playing a lot of Elden Ring again, and I got obsessed. And then on West Virginia, with my Steam Deck, the entire time on the plane, all I did was play Elden Ring. Every
Oh,
night
yeah,
I
I saw
played
your
Elden Ring.
tweets.
This game fucking took over my life in a way that I just at first I didn't understand what people were talking about, man. I'm like, it's a fun game, but I just don't get what people are saying. I'm in, man. This is one of the best open worlds. Elden Ring and Breath of the Wild are the 2 best open worlds ever made. No doubt. No doubt in my fucking mind. At number 1, I
Yeah.
have Bloodborne.
Wow.
Number 1, I have
Okay.
Bloodborne. This could
Huh.
just be because it was my introduction to From Software, right? So it's the first time that my eyes were opened. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure. That's why I don't know if Elden Ring's number 1 or Bloodborne's number 1. But
Nothing
as
beats
of
like the first time.
it's the first time, man, and what a fucking game! What an atmosphere! It's what a combat! What a story! It's a fucking masterpiece. 10 out of 10, and that is every game I beat.
Very impressive list. I'll say that. Very impressive list. You had the fortitude, the focus to play all those games. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here like I think I played like maybe 20 games this whole year. And I had this whole idea, oh, December's gonna be my month. I'm gonna finally get through all this stuff.
Yeah.
December was the busiest month of my fucking
Oh, I
life.
hear you, dude. Listen, I
Oh, God.
I was on pace to beat like 60 something games this year, but I took a big break like for a few months, I think from like August, September, middle of October-ish. I didn't really play a lot of stuff. I kind of took a big break. But yeah, it was my New Year's resolution. If you follow me on Twitter, that's my pinned tweet. My New Year's resolution was to try to clear out my backlog as much as possible and play more games more like attentively. And I'm very glad I did it, man. Like it was a fun year. I played some fucking bangers.
Yeah, I feel you. That's one of my resolutions, or partially one of my resolutions. Perhaps we'll touch on that very quickly
Ha
at
ha
the
ha
end,
ha
maybe, or
ha.
we will do something else. We'll see. But yeah, that's definitely something I want to do. I want to play more games because I didn't play nearly enough this year. But hey, there is some stuff I played that we'll talk
Yeah.
about in a little
Yeah. We'll
bit.
talk about it. Well, that was my takeover of the episode, just delivering on the promises. This was very hard to do. So I'm glad. Thank you for letting me do my little rant here. I
Oh
hope I
yeah,
didn't
please.
take up too much of the time. Spoonful
Only
audience.
half the podcast. No, I'm kidding. It's
You
fine. It was like
motherfucker.
15, 20 minutes. You're fine.
Let's go. All right. Now to the real meat and potatoes of today's episode. The
Yummy.
Spoonies. We don't have a
Yes.
theme song, but that's where a theme song would
It's the
play.
Spoonies of the
There you
year.
go.
Get your spoons and get your cheer. because Mario and Emmett are here to put the Spoonies right into there. That's all I got.
That was beautiful. That was incredible, man.
I was going for the Pimp of the Year song that they sung in "I'm Gonna Get You Sucker" from, like, the late
Okay.
'80s. Shout
Okay.
out to that movie.
Shout
We
out.
had that on DVD, I watched it a lot.
Oh, Emmett. You are the
I'm a
best.
strange person.
You're the best. Let me tell you, your pulls. We should have an award that's like the best Emmett random Emmett pull.
That's honestly, that would win. I don't think I've had too many super obscure pulls like that.
That's the one.
If you remember that Keen Ivory Wayans movie, fucking I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, write it in the comments. Let's talk about how that movie existed.
Pull of the
Shout
year
out.
right there. So, question for you. We have the Google Doc here. Do you want to start top to bottom, bottom to top? Like game of the year right now lands as our first category. Should that be our last category or just go top to bottom? You tell me.
Well, separately from the Google Doc, because I did have the Google Doc where our categories went in order and all that stuff. I put my own answers to everything in a separate thing so I can surprise you. Um, I
I put
say
my
let's
answers
go ahead and
separately as well.
yeah, there we go. Look at us, great minds thinking alike. I'm gonna say let's go ahead and keep it in the order we have right now. I think it'll be a nice little. If anything, let's see. Let's end that the second last category.
Yeah,
Let's move that down. That have that be the last one.
I like that. That's
And
a
then
good way to do it.
everything else can stay the same.
Perfect.
Yeah, because I feel like that'll be a good way to, pitch into what we're doing in the next year.
I love that. I love that. Well, starting with our first Spoonie award, the Game of the Year award. Emmett,
Dun, dun,
what
dun.
is your pick? Who does the Spoonie or your Spoonie, I should say, go to?
As I said often on this episode even, I didn't play too much. I played maybe 2 dozen games this whole year, and some of those weren't even games that came out this year. But if I had to really think about it, there's 2 games that really stand out to me, 2 games that I completed that really stand out to me. There's 1 game that I haven't completed that I think will be a good consensus pick, but of the 2 that I've completed, I think 1 really stands above the other. As much as I love Kirby, I gotta go with Horizon Forbidden
Mm,
West.
great game.
That
Great
is
game.
yeah, great game. I've talked about it a million places at this point, but just graphically beautiful. The narrative is engaging in so many more ways than the original was. Characters are more engaging. It just feels like a place to explore more than it feels like an video game environment in a
Yeah.
very standard way. It,
Yeah.
it just
Yeah.
felt more natural. I just love everything about it. Platinum didn't like record time, considering how slow I was getting through all these other games. I'm still not done with God of War Ragnarok, but yeah, Horizon Forbidden West, man, it's hard to top that one. There's a lot of cool twists, a lot of cool everything.
It's a
Gameplay
great game.
wise as
The
well.
story's awesome. The
Really,
gameplay's insane. It's beautiful. The characters, man. I actually speaking of the Spawnies, when Khalif was sending out his categories, one of the categories I think was the most inclusive game, uh, or
mhm.
something along those lines. I'm sorry if I'm paraphrasing, but when I voted and what I told Khalif is that I don't think I've ever played a game that has a more inclusive cast of characters than Horizon Forbidden West. It's incredible. It's really well done. Shout out to Gorilla for that. So
Yeah.
great pick.
I'll also say there was a relating to that point, there was a thing running around on Twitter where they were just shouting out all the black characters in the game. And I can't tell you another game that has like the subtleties of different black characters. We can tell
Right.
like, oh, this is a black person who's clearly from like the US side of things, and this is a black person who's clearly like from Africa or like Egypt specifically. Like there's subtleties in skin tones and like facial features that
It's excellent.
you could tell the people who worked on it really cared. So yeah, it's a great game for so many reasons, but that's a really good reason for it as well.
100%. 100%. One thing I forgot to mention when I was going through my list of the 45 games, 22 of them came out in 2022.
God
22 of
damn.
them. So my game of the year, and I for every category I wrote a couple shout outs as well. My game of the year, so I kind of spoiled it already, but it's Elden Ring, man. I came around on it.
You know,
It was gonna be God of War. I thought it was God of War. On this very show, I said I don't think any game will be able to dethrone God of War for me. Yet here we are, man. Like that Elden Ring second wind really fucking grabbed me, and it's just I can't deny it. My
yep.
shout out is God of War Ragnarok. I'll give another shout out like for Horizon for you. But here's the fun part of the Spoonies where we have our own picks, but we have to come to a consensus pick on what the official Spoonful award goes to. The official
Oh yeah.
Spoonie, if you will.
The official Spoonie, the canonical Spoonie.
Yes.
Um, I would say, I mean, honestly, you said it right there. I think Elden Ring is a good consensus title for us just because I played a lot of Elden Ring. Haven't beaten it, of course. I've said that before, but I'm like 30, 40 hours in. I've played enough to know that I enjoy it. I played enough to know that I will come back to it and beat it at some point.
Yeah.
It's a fantabulous game. It's great. I do think I had a shot at God of War Ragnarok being a close consensus pick for us,
Almost.
just yeah, just for the sake of variety. I say that not because God of War didn't stand up to the test. It's more so that I am still at the part where you're just now meeting the black girl. I forget her name, but
Yes. Yes.
I am that is where I have left off, and I have been
Okay.
enjoying it so much. I got there early December, and then the rest of December happened.
Yes.
So,
Happened.
I'm sure I'm gonna love that game more,
Yeah,
but
dude,
right
you're
now,
you're in for
Elden
some really fucking great stuff. Again, you saw me read the list. God of War Ragnarok is one of my
Ring.
favorite games ever played. If I make a top 10, I would try to fit that game in the top 10. It's just Elden Ring is one of those like in my opinion generational type games. I feel bad especially for Horizon because I feel like if Horizon had come out in 2021, that would have been my runaway game of the year. Like not even
Oh,
fucking close. So it's a shame that it lands third or fourth because if you'll read my list, I put Sifu above it, just
mhm,
for shits and giggles. But it's a
certainly.
shame because it's an incredible game, man. And shout out to Gorilla, shout out to Sony Santa Monica. But sounds like Elden Ring gets the Spoonie.
Yeah, Elden Ring, congrats on your Spoonie. May you and your Orthodox Rabbi Bill Clinton
I was about
enjoy.
to say, where's Bill Clinton, man? I'm
Yeah.
I'm
Oh, he's
waiting.
wielding a spoon now. He's about to take down Molina with a giant spork.
Oh hell yeah, man, hell yeah! I beat fucking Melina on a Steam Deck, dog. What a life we live in. What a world.
I love this world. I quite
Oh
genuinely
my
love this
god,
world.
the Steam Deck is the
It's fun.
listen, I enjoyed my Steam Deck a lot. When I went out of town and I played like an extra 10, 12 hours of Elden Ring on a fucking portable device is when I was like, this is the coolest fucking device I own.
Yeah. You're making a better use of that thing than me. I bounced out of, Duke Nukem Forever last night because 'cause I'm like, "Why am I
Nice.
playing this?
Fuck yeah,
I'm done."
man. Fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
But hey, having fun in different ways.
All right. Congratulations to Elden Ring. Moving on.
Oh,
Our
you know what?
movie.
I have a
Oh,
box of crystal spoons that I should take out every time we give one away. I'm gonna get my box of crystal
I
spoons.
love that. You get your box of crystal
Introduce the
spoons.
next category while I get my spoons.
Those are our official trophies, everyone. Officially, what Emmett's about to grab is our official trophies. So we did Game of the Year, obviously. Uh, we're moving on to TV Show of the Year. Sorry, my apologies. Movie of the Year. Spoiled another category there for you. Wink. Yeah, this is Emmett came up with most of these categories, actually all these categories, because I really like the idea of us just giving awards to everything else. So this is movie of the year. Should be an interesting one. Uh,
This is the crystal spoon for Elden Ring.
ooh, that's a nice one.
Congrats.
It you can't read it. Viewers at home, you can't read it, but it's engraved. It says Elden Ring. We're shipping it out to
Exactly.
From Software. Very
Yeah.
prestigious. Very
Miyazaki's gonna
prestigious.
get that
Yeah.
aiming on his wall.
Yeah. I have his home address. I'm sending it out to him.
Oh, boy.
Movie of the year. Emmett, what is your pick for movie of the year?
Movie of the year. This one, I thought it was gonna be hard, but then I looked back at what I watched, and turns out I didn't watch too much that came out this year either. So, this is pretty simple. I remember coming out of the movie theater on this one and just instantly going to my letterbox account, going to my top 4, taking my beloved Cloverfield out of its 4th
Mm,
slot, and putting this movie in that slot. And this movie is Everything Everywhere All at Once.
yeah.
Uh, couldn't get over how great this movie was. Couldn't get over how creative and fun it was because it has a lot of like silly, ridiculous concepts, but it's put in a context that makes sense for this world, for this universe that they've painted. And also, it's just like the subtext of it and the themes of it speak to me personally in a
Yeah.
very deep and profound way. It's just a perfect movie. The one negative about it is that I tried to get my whole family to watch this Christmas Day, and everyone was like, "I haven't heard of that. Fuck that," and just left. So
Damn.
it was just me, my little brother, and my little cousin trying to watch it, and only my little cousin stayed up long enough to
Shout
ride
out to
out the
little
whole time.
cousin. Shout out to little
Yeah,
cousin.
Yeah, shout out to JR. I'm sure he's not watching this, but shout out to you, JR.
Shout out to you.
15 years old, taller than me. He has like a good 3 inches on me. It's
Jeez.
ridiculous.
You're
We
not
have
short per se, are you?
I'm 6 even. Like
Fuck.
this
Fuck,
this
man.
boy's just really tall.
This
His
boy's
mom's really
tall.
tall too. Yeah, my aunt's a fucking big person. Anywho, yeah, Everything Ever All at Once. Great
Yeah,
movie.
man.
Michelle Yeoh killing it. Everybody just killing it left and right in that movie. I love it so much. I will think about it all day for the rest of my life forever. So yeah, there you go on that one.
Well, our movie of the year category is fairly simple because my movie of the year is Everything Everywhere All at Once. So
Yo!
first official consensus. I'm like you, man. I didn't see a lot of movies this year. I didn't see a lot. I mean, as you can see, most of my time this year was spent playing video games. So limited stuff for me in the viewing department, but Everything Ever All at Once is one of those that, I heard the scuttlebutt, went to the theater, and man, what a fucking great movie. I'm totally with you. Like, so creative, funny, charming, everything that the world makes sense, right? Deep at points, very emotional at points. It's just a really fucking well done movie. And for sure my pick. I don't think I went to the theater to see unless Spider-Man No Way Home was this year. I forget already.
That was December. That was definitely December.
Okay, so I don't think I even went to the theater to see a single MCU movie this year, which was a lot of my like theater experience. I kind of fell off the MCU, right?
No
But everything,
multiverse?
man.
Wow. Huh. All right. See, I when I was thinking of consensus picks to bring to the table, it was either multiverse or maybe the Batman, Robert Pattinson's
Yeah.
Batman,
Actually,
or Reeves.
so yes,
Ooh,
I did see Multiverse of Madness. I forgot that there was this year. For some reason, I got that confused. That's the only Marvel movie I saw this year, and I really enjoyed it. Uh, I
that
went to
movie's
see it almost primarily because Elizabeth Olsen is in it, and I'll go see a movie that Elizabeth Olsen's in.
I respect that. They did some things I didn't expect with their character, but she was great in it
Yeah.
nonetheless. She
No, I
yes,
loved it. I loved
indeed.
it. But
Yes, indeed.
see, my shout out was a movie I actually saw while I was in West Virginia with Jimena and my dad. The Banshees of Inisherin. It's gotten a
Ooh,
lot of scuttlebutt, right? I've heard a lot of things about it. I like the director a lot. I like his last movie, Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, a lot.
love that movie.
Love that movie. That movie's fucking great. I saw that movie with my dad originally, so while we were on the trip, I was like, "Hey, this movie's the same director. It's getting a lot of praise. People are saying it's really good. We should go watch it." And we watched it. It's on HBO Max. It's a fucking great movie. It's a bummer of a movie, but like in a good way. It's very depressing, yet it's also very funny at times. It's got that same dark humor that you'll appreciate if you like everything everywhere. Not sorry, Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Confusing
Let's say.
myself with long movie titles. Uh, but yeah, no, big shout out to that movie. That's like a big, like that's an award getter, right? Like they'll win a few Oscars for sure. And it's a great movie, but I agree with you that I like Everything Everywhere All at Once. Shout out to the Batman as well. I went to see the Batman. The Batman's excellent.
Yeah, but I couldn't believe how good the Batman was. So yeah, shout out to that as well. That is definitely incredible. Wow, I'm surprised we're coming to consensus as much as we are. I think it's gonna get more difficult when we get to some of these later categories, but I'm excited for the challenge.
Listen, for not the category that's coming up, but the one after that. I think we both
Ooh.
know what each other's
I
picks are.
Yes, but the consensus is good. I think we have a consensus,
I think
but
we do have a consensus, but
it's not gonna be any of our personal picks, I think.
let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes.
Alright, we'll
The
see,
next
we'll see.
category, the next category, TV show of the year. I already kind of spoiled that for the audience. My bad there. But TV show of the year. Emmett, what is your
Mhm.
pick for the best TV show of 2022? And this is one that my pick, I'm going to the mat for.
Ooh, wow, okay. Well, then you're probably gonna just take them at home with it because I didn't watch too much TV this year.
Fair.
I really there's one category in here that I put all my skill points into, so to speak, so I'll have a lot to say there, but, this one right here, TV show of the year, there's a lot of TV that I started
Mm,
that I didn't complete.
mm.
Like, I got into Abbott Elementary pretty hardcore this year,
Really want to
didn't
watch
even
that.
watch Yeah, I love that show. Didn't watch far enough to even get into season 2, which started this past year. Same thing with Atlanta. I love Atlanta, always loved Atlanta. Watched the first, I think, 2 seasons it is, and then season 3 came out, got about halfway through it, and just haven't gone back to it, and then the entirety of season 4 came out last year, the final season, still haven't gotten around to it, and so that's on me. I know I need to get on that. Stranger Things, one of my favorite shows of all time. Haven't watched any of the new season. I'm just slipping. But there is one show that I did really, really, really heavily enjoy, even though its finale didn't completely ruin it. It just what they did in the finale was cool. It just didn't feel like they earned it. It just didn't feel like they set up things to make me think, "Oh, this is the logical next step." That is She-Hulk. She-Hulk
Ooh.
is my TV show of the year, my personal pick. It's a great show. It's a cozy watch. I'm a basic bitch. I love a good rom-com every now and then. So She-Hulk was definitely giving me those vibes. And it was just playful about the MCU's world in a way where not a lot of media is. Especially, Deadpool. We haven't had one of those in a long ass time.
Right.
So uh, it kind of gave me that energy again. It was a lot of fun. It took a really dark turn towards the end, which I was like, "Holy hell, they're putting this type of shit in the
Whoa.
MCU? That's dark as fuck." And then they resolved that in a way where I'm like, "Okay, this makes sense for the character, and yes, the comics would do this and everything." I
Yeah.
didn't know this was possible in this world until right now. And so now you're dropping it right at the climax. It just feels weird pacing wise to
Yeah.
do that, but I enjoyed the ride even if the destination was a little bit bumpy. I really did enjoy the ride. I think She-Hulk was great. Definitely my favorite MCU show. I had to re-look it up. I thought Loki came out this year. I was about to say Loki, but
Last
no,
year.
that was last
Last year.
year. Yeah. Yeah, this year
Yeah,
has been
I
weird. Yeah.
I don't think I saw a single MCU show this year.
Mm,
If you
fair enough.
followed, I kind of fell off the MCU, but for She-Hulk, I did follow along, and I know what you're talking about, the whole Kevin thing at the end. I
Yep.
thought it was super weird, and I understand it comes from the comics, and the She-Hulk character is very fourth wall breaky and stuff, but I did think it was like I've heard what you've said that it does kind of come out of fucking nowhere. So
Mhm.
I understand that. I didn't see She-Hulk. I didn't see any Marvel shows, but I have a consensus pick, and I have two shout outs. One of
Okay.
which I need to make sure I'm going to do a quick Google search
Hmm.
because I'm not
If it came out
sure if it actually did came out this year. I believe it did, like thinking back, but I didn't watch it when it came out. So let's find out.
Drum roll, please. I will say in the meantime, um, I was looking up, I think Fargo is the yeah. Oh no, Fargo season 4 came out in 2020. So yeah, I couldn't have put that on here.
Okay.
But Fargo is another one of my favorite TV shows, and I thought I had a new season this year. I was gonna say that.
So
But
this
anyhow,
came out at the end of 2021, so it doesn't count. I just happened to watch all of it in 2022. I was talking about Succession. Succession is probably one of my favorite shows ever made. Shout out to
facts.
Succession. But the one show that I know for a damn fact came out this year and is also one of my favorite shows ever made and doesn't get nearly as much fucking love as it should. And it's a goddamn shame that people don't love this show as much
I don't know what
as
it is.
people should fucking love
Is
this show.
is it on Apple TV Plus?
It's not, but I do have
Oh,
a pick that is
okay.
on Apple TV Plus. That's my
All
shout
right.
out. This one is the best prequel of all time. Better fucking call Saul, dude.
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Show is incredible. Anybody who likes Breaking Bad should watch this show, and not everyone did. This show, dude, it's I can't believe that a prequel is as good as Breaking Bad, which I would have considered to be the best show ever, if not better, man. Better Call Saul is fucking incredible. It's a beautiful fucking show. The way they wrapped up the show with the series finale is masterful. The performances are incredible. This season had some fucking banger, shocking moments. It's one of the best TV shows ever made, and it doesn't get enough love. Better Call
Mm,
Saul is my pick for TV show of the year. And my shout
great.
out was Severance. Severance is a really fun show.
I was gonna say Severance is a show where I'm like, I as soon because I wasn't on the Apple family plan
Right,
until
right,
very
right.
recently. When I set up my parents' new TV, I'm like, "Hey, while I'm setting all this shit up, put me on the plan right now." And so I'm finally on there. Severance is something I'll watch next year, but very excited for that. Ted Lasso as well, I wanna get
Oh,
around
Ted
to, and
Lasso
that
is fucking awesome, dude.
exactly. And that I was gonna say Ted Lasso again. Jon Stewart, his show. I want to
Oh,
watch
yeah,
because I'm
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think
clearly
the problem with Jon
yeah, the
Stewart is the
problem with
name of
Jon
it. Yeah,
Stewart.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause I just like Jon Stewart.
Same.
I think he's pretty cool. Exactly. So yeah, consensus pick though.
Yeah,
What are we
I'll say Severance, you should definitely give it a go. It's a great fucking show. Such a fucking awesome original concept, right? Such like so creative. Gripping, dude. Like gripping TV. I was obsessed with. It's one of those where I think it's 10 episodes and I knocked them off in 2 or 3 days cuz I was like going to bed way too late cuz I'm like I need to figure out what happens next. It's one of those. The season finale is a crazy fucking cliffhanger. Uh
ooh.
like one of those like legit fucking cliffhangers that you go like, well, what the fuck am I gonna do now? Wait for to find out what
Life on
happens
pause
next.
for next year.
Yeah, it's a great show. Like shout out to Severance, but I have to give love to Better Call Saul. What's gonna be our consensus, man?
This is gonna be a rough one. So I was gonna my consensus that I was gonna propose because I figured maybe we've both seen a little bit of it, so we can come to the consensus that even though we haven't seen all of it, we can probably be safe. It's a good show. I was gonna say Abbott Elementary, but it sounds like you haven't even started
I
Abbott
haven't. I
Elementary.
really want to. It's one of my biggest wants of shows that I want to start. Haven't.
Mm,
I haven't. I'll give another shout out to My Hero Academia. It's
mm.
my favorite anime. Uh, and this season has been fucking insane. It's still going on, so I don't think it quite qualifies, but it's been incredible.
Yeah, fair enough. I would say because you've seen it and I really want to see it. Because here's the thing, Better Call Saul, all due respect, I just haven't watched any Breaking Bad, so the
That's fair.
connection isn't there for me. But I think Severance is a good consensus pick because I am dying to watch that show, and I know you already enjoy it quite a bit. So I think that's a good middle ground for us.
I will agree with that. Listen, as much as I would want the Spoonie to go to Better Call Saul, because Better Call Saul just like I said never gets enough love. It wouldn't be fair for me to just take the award, right? And just be like, I like this, so this is what we're doing.
Take and
Severance
run
is a
with it.
great show, deserving of it. Very good performances. Shout out to Ben Stiller, uh, creating it and directing a bunch of episodes and whatnot, and doing a hell of a fucking job directing episodes. By the way, uh, just shout out to Better Call Saul, man. They deserved more. Everyone, if you're watching and you're reading this, not reading, listening to this, maybe you're reading it. I don't know. You do you. I'm not gonna complain.
Transcripts. There you go.
Fuck yeah, I'm not here to judge. You did Better Call Saul dirty, and you should feel bad about it because it's one of the best shows ever. Some of the best performances you'll ever see. Bob Odenkirk and Reese Seahorn deserve many awards, and they don't have it, and it's your fault.
And with that, the Spoonie goes to Severance for best show or TV show of the year, and the Dirty Spoonie goes to Better Call Saul.
I
Because I
love
just
that.
ate cereal right before we started, so
I
here you go.
love that. The dirty Spoonie. It's the
The
people's
Dirty
champ.
Spoonie,
It's the people's
yeah,
champ.
the Dirty Spoonie is definitely a trick in BMXXX on PS2. There you go. Another deep cut for you.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Uh,
Okay.
Speaking of cuts,
Speaking of
a lot
cuts,
of cuts on some of these albums that came out this year.
album of the year. So this is one where I think we both know what we're doing here. I think
Yeah,
we
we're
both
spoken
have an
for.
idea. We both know what we're picking.
Yeah. All right, so
What's
I'm gonna let you go.
yours?
Oh, whoa, okay.
You're
All
going
right, I'll
first.
go.
This is you. This is your show.
How about I get some visual aids for this one? Because I also got another
Yes,
Christmas gift.
do it.
Give me a second. Y'all know what's coming.
Everybody, everybody who's listened to this show knows what Emmett is going to say. Knows what I am going to say. I think the more interesting question will be what's going to be the consensus pick. Because there's two possible consensus picks, right? My pick, not going to win, unfortunately. My pick's not going to win it. But there's
This
two.
pick chance.
Yeah, that one does have a
Mr.
chance.
Morale.
Mr.
Mr.
Morale.
Morale and the Mixers. Yes, indeed. I got
Listen,
this vinyl from my friends Aubrey and Richard, by the way. Thank you for the Christmas gift,
nice.
y'all.
Shout out.
Um,
Good Christmas gift.
but yeah, this one it was a toss up between this and another album. Now I'm not gonna speak its name until we get to the consensus pick because I think it
Yes.
will be a good pick. But yeah, Mr. Morale and Big Separates. What is there to say that I haven't already said in a very exhaustive review on VGU.TV or
We've
in a
done
2 hour yo.
We've
We're in
done
our
3 Spoonful episodes on each one of these albums. Each one of these albums has had a Spoonful episode. One of them is technically not Spoonful yet, but
yeah,
basically,
true,
yes.
true.
So
Effectively.
we've talked in length about all of these albums. My pick, Taylor Swift Midnights. Everybody knows that.
Mm-hmm.
But here's where it gets interesting. Let me take you on a tiny journey for a second.
Ooh, I'm
For
ready.
the last, I think, 3 years running. I think 3 years. That sounds about right. 2 or 3 years. Obviously, when you get your Spotify Wrapped, and I don't use Spotify, I use YouTube Music now, but they also do their own little Wrapped thing or whatever.
Indeedy.
It's not a surprise to anyone that my number one artist is always Taylor Swift, and I'm always in the 0.01% of fucking listeners because I'm a psychopath. That's understandable. But
You're the
you
problem.
want to
It's you.
you want to guess? Nice, 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 dude.
I heard that
Do you
song.
want to guess who's been my number two for a lot of years running? Either 2 or 3 years running.
Ooh, whomst.
It's Kendrick. He's been my number two artist for
Really?
like 3 years running.
Wow. Didn't
Yes.
expect that.
So this is where it gets interesting because I know for a fact we also have another pick that we've done an episode on,
Yes, indeed.
and that's The
And that's
Forever Story by JID.
yes, that's the one that I was gonna bring forward as a possible consensus pick. I'll say this because I love Kendrick. JID is right behind there. It's really like I'll say it like this: if I didn't have history with Kendrick, if he wasn't like a person who changed my life with his art, I think I'd like JID's album more. Because if it as a standalone piece of work, I think
Right.
JID's album is more sonically varied and interesting. And also it just goes down easier. Where Kendrick's album is a jagged pill. It's a lot of serious
Yes.
topics. It's a lot of like, oh shit, like he's talking about like some rough stuff. JID, yeah, there's some serious topics on there, but it's not anywhere near as uh, like it doesn't bring you down as much as Kendrick's album does sometimes. And that's not to say Kendrick's album is bad. It's just they're going for different things tonally. So I was ready to give the consensus pick to Forever Story because it is such a easy to listen to album, especially now that he's released the version of it with that missing song, 2007 or I think 2008. Um, so yeah, are you saying maybe Kendrick is the consensus pick? Like, what's your vibe on this?
That's the conversation because Kendrick's it could be my number two. So that's where it gets interesting. Like I said, my number one's not getting anywhere, but throwing that out the window, I think Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers does win it for us.
Well, hot damn, Mr. Morale, it is then. I will go ahead and put it on. I can't believe it. Spoonie goes to you, Mr. Lamar.
Mr.
Enjoy.
Lamar.
Let Dave freehold it on the weekends, but yeah, you can have this
Nice.
as well.
I have his home address as well. I will be shipping the spoon to him.
We can just send it to Compton. He'll get to him at some point. Like he
It'll
owns
get
that place.
around. They'll figure
Exactly.
it out.
Send it to the mayoral office. That's where he lives.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Wow, I can't believe it, Mr. Morale. I thought I was gonna have to fight harder to get Mr. Morale up there, but I didn't know Kendrick was like that high for you in general.
It's
So
my
that's
number
impressive.
two. Every year I think it's gonna be something else, and it ends up being my number two every single year. So shout out to
Hmm.
Kendrick.
Gee willikers. I will say, speaking of Spotify Wrapped, solid amount of Taylor Swift on mine. She wasn't like my number two, three. She wasn't on my top five artists or anything. But in that playlist where it's like all the songs you listen to a lot, like half her albums in there.
We did it,
So
folks. We
that album's
fucking did
pretty
it.
good. That album's pretty good. And I'm gonna check out 1989, I believe,
Got it. Nailed
soon
it.
because sonically it's pretty good.
Oh,
She's doing
you're gonna enjoy that. You're gonna enjoy that a lot.
very much looking forward to it. And now let's
What?
get weird categories.
Yeah, this one I really like. This one I really appreciate. This one we're calling the "How Did I Miss This" award, right? And it's basically what's that one thing that you didn't consume, but that it didn't come out in 2022 necessarily, but you consumed in 2022, and it gave you a big like, holy shit, how did I miss this?
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
Give
Huh,
me your
so
Spoonie, sir.
the Spoonie, my personal Spoonie for this one. Uh because we picked I made this category nebulous on purpose because I wanted to put anything in here, not just a movie or a game or whatever. So my pick here is gonna be something that most of y'all have no idea is a thing. Probably this is probably gonna be new to a lot of y'all. I watch a lot of video essays. That's probably the thing that I've watched and consumed most this year are just video essays. I love them so much. In fact, by the time you're watching this, I should have my article out on VGU.tv of my 22 favorite video essays of the year. I did 21 last year for 2021, doing the same thing this year for this number. This is one that came out last year, but I loved it so much, and I'm so mad at myself for not watching it last year because it was in my watch later queue for the longest time. Finally watched it this year, couldn't believe how good it was. There's a YouTuber by the name of CJ the X. They
Mm.
made a video called Bo Burnham versus Jeff Bezos.
Oh,
And
I've been meaning
it
to
is,
watch that video actually.
dude, it is so good.
It's popped up in my recommended a few times.
Oh, there's a reason. Now, I will say, for those of you who aren't aware of how the video essay thing works on YouTube, video essays are great. There are 10-minute video essays, there are 15-minute ones, there are 30-minute ones.
Those are
There
not the
are 8.
ones Emmett likes.
Oh, I love a lot of them too. Trust me, I got some short ones on my list. But there are like 8-hour video essays that I
Yeah.
get geeked about. Let me tell you. Noah Caldwell Gervais, that Resident Evil video from last year. Oh my god, I still watch that every now and then.
A
7 and a
13-hour video essay drops and Emmett's a fucking just
half.
rock hard, dude.
Oh yeah, let me tell you. Oh man, I third leg, my guy. Anywho, but this video, I seen it a lot, and I had seen like clips of CJDX from like different creators. I think they popped up in an FD Signifier video before, and I was like, all right, I should get around to watching their stuff. But I was just a little bit intimidated because CJDX has a lot of personality,
Mm.
and sometimes that can be intimidating if you don't know the person, you're not familiar with their content. You're like, all right, that's just going to be a lot of them in whatever I watch. But it was such a beautiful video. It's, of course, about the whole, existential dread and the terrors of capitalism, all that stuff that, us
The
people are.
usual suspects.
Exactly. But yes, it is 2.5 hours, but it earns that runtime. It talks about so much and it talks about so many different angles to the same thing. And it has a very beautiful conclusion that I'm like, oh man, that was very beautifully said. That's a very beautiful way to put it into words. And I just love that video. I think it's one of the best YouTube video essays I've ever seen. I added it. I have a massive list of like 100 video essays that I'm just like, here are the best video essays I've ever seen, and it earned a spot on that list. So that should say
Nice.
plenty because I don't
That's a
I don't
lot.
edit that list often. Every couple months, maybe I'll put 1 or 2 videos on, and it got in that league. So yeah, shout out to that video. It is really, really fucking good.
There you go. Yeah, this award is funny. I think this and another award is kind of impossible to reach a consensus because there's no fucking way we're anywhere near.
I did
Uh,
bring up a good consensus for this one, but I want to hear your
okay, I'm
personal.
interested to hear it. For me, my how did I miss this award? And you've heard this whole podcast up until now, hopefully. So I played a lot of fucking games this year. That's what I did. That was 80% of my downtime of like you know spare time of me entertaining myself was spent playing video games. And when I think of the number one thing that I can't believe I missed up until now, it's an umbrella. It's an over encompassing thing, and that is From Software. I I you saw my list. From Software came out, and I beat 5 of their games this year, and all 5 of them are incredible. And of those 5, 4, I mean 3, you could say 4 are like some of my favorite games ever created. So From Software, no doubt for me. I gave a shout out to Nier Automata because it's another incredible video game. That's one of my favorite ever. Some of the best storytelling ever. And I gave the last shout out to Succession as a show that
Hmm.
I've been meaning to watch for forever. And that once I finally started watching it, I get it. But it's got to be From Software for me, dude. Like, I can't believe I never thought I would be here. Where I always heard the From Software nerds go fucking crazy, and I just didn't get it. But now I get it, man. And I'm in the cycle, and I can't wait for Armored Core 6, baby.
Boy, howdy. I'm gonna say right now, I doubt Armored Core is gonna play a lot like Elden Ring
Oh,
or
I
any of
know
these
it's
other.
not, but I'm in, man. I'm in.
Fair enough, fair enough. I'll give that to you. But we're right in the same brain space right here because Yes, I haven't played Bloodborne. I haven't played much of
Oh.
Sekiro. I've played like an hour of Sekiro.
Oh,
But I have put in, like I said, 30 or 40 hours into Elden Ring.
nice.
So my consensus pick was gonna be From Software.
Fuck
Like,
yeah, man.
yeah,
Fuck
I think
yeah.
that's good because
Miyazaki,
I
you get another Spoonie, dog.
there you go, 2 Spoonies, there you go, from both sides. But no, we, the thing oh, that face was a
Oof.
intense one for that joke.
Oof.
But yeah, From Software, I haven't talked shit on From Software, but I have been the type I think literally during that episode where you were talking about Elden Ring, I was like, "Ah, but The Surge 2 though, that's a great game."
Love
Like,
you
I'm over
so
here
much.
like,
You're so
I
fucking
will
funny.
I'm such a I will always turn left when everyone goes right. I'm just a weirdo like that. And this is a game, Elden Ring is the game where I finally was like, "All right, let's see what everyone's talking about." And then I got it. Once I got the right build, I'm like, "Oh shit, I can see myself playing this for hours and hours to come and enjoying all of it." Like playing long games can often be tedious and annoying to me, but I think I'm gonna go to distance with Elden Ring, and this is the first time I could say that about any From Software game. I've tried Bloodborne, didn't hit, and then I tried Sekiro, and I was like, okay, I can see this hitting because I trust myself after my experience with Elden Ring to love this. So yeah, From Software, I haven't gotten as deep into the waters as you, but I also put a toe in, and I'm like, oh, this is good.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's chill in the pool together.
Listen, a toe is fine. I just happen to go full on skinny dipping for weeks and weeks, but man, From Software, what a fucking what a what a studio, man. Like banger after
Oh,
banger after banger after banger. Incredible.
400.
Incredible. This is another fun one where I think we can land on a consensus actually. I think this one
Ooh.
we could land on a consensus.
I
This
have a
is
very weird consensus that I'm gonna recommend, but I wanna see what we say in a
I
minute.
fucking bet you do. I fucking bet you do. This is what we call the internet thing of the year. Just something you saw on the internet. That's the internet thing of the year. What's your internet thing of the year, sir?
My internet thing is, surprise, surprise, the thing that I spent the most time consuming this year, yet another video essay. And yet another one where we made fun of, oh, Emmett likes his long video essays. This is a nearly 6-hour video essay.
You fucking psychopath.
That I'm gonna talk about how much I love. This is now I people love this YouTube channel. People love this person from their time at Kotaku. So they already
Mm,
had a big following there. Eventually they left, did their own YouTube thing. They've had several videos there. And I've watched one or two of them, but in general, their style is just a little bit too much for me. Not in that, oh, it's 6 hours, but like it's just very dense the way that they make their videos.
yeah,
This video is the one that got me that made it click. This video is the one where like, "Oh, wait, this format is really good. This person can write their ass off." And what they're talking about is really fascinating to me in ways I didn't expect. This video essay is Action Button Reviews. Fuck, where's oh god, my computer's freezing up. I need to
oh,
go
oh,
to the different tabs so I can read it. Well, first off, it's from Action Button. I'll tell you that.
got that.
Action Button is a YouTube channel from Tim Rogers, formerly of Kotaku, and a bunch of other places. He's had a very fascinating life. But oh, I closed the tab. That's why I
This
can't find
fucking
it.
guy, let me tell you.
Um, it's I don't want to say it wrong. That's the thing. It's Noku. Where's my phone? I'll just look it up on my phone so I can just read it there. Because it's just I just saved it to the same app that I pull up on my
Yeah,
computer on my phone.
you got it. You got it. I believe in you.
Thank you for struggling with me, everybody. Um, Here we go. Action Button reviews Boku no not Natsumui. God, I guarantee
Nailed
you I
it.
said that wrong. It is a obscure Japanese game. It's not like the biggest thing. It's no Final Fantasy. It's no whatever. But it is a game in which you play as a child who is spending their summer vacation at a like an aunt or an uncle's house, and you spend the entire summer there and it's like 105 days or whatever scheduled out. And it's like a very specific clockwork system where things are on timers. You can only do certain things, certain activities, certain parts of the
Mm,
day. There's like these kids that are running like a beetle battle bots tournament where they just collect a bunch of bugs and make them fight. You can bet on the start market of like who's going to win the fights and all this stuff.
nice, nice.
Uh, you can just go exploring in caves and find weird butterflies and stuff and fill out your whole bug collection. You can meet different characters that are just out in the wilderness of Japan, just like chilling and like writing research papers. There's this one girl where you like develop a crush on this like college girl as like a 5-year-old. And
Both
it's
in
like
there.
this very, it's like a wholesome, sweet thing. It's a very sweet game that I've seen things about it before and I've been interested in it. But the way that Tim Rogers talks about this game and applies it to his own personal life, it is it's transformative because if you don't know Tim Rogers, one thing that a lot of people know about him, he has a very specific type. He has something with his brain, some specific thing where he has a scarily good memory.
Mm,
Like he remembers like dates and all that stuff really well, but like he remembers specific details of like the first grade with scary accuracy as a person in his 40s. And playing a game where you are a child, where it is about nostalgia for the past and all that stuff, it has him looking deeper into himself, thinking about the nostalgia for his own life, and you know, he ends up flying back to his hometown halfway through the video and does like a whole analysis of like his own childhood. And it's just a look. It's not just about this game. It's a look at nostalgia and the act
mm,
of remembering that
mm.
is just so powerful that when I watched this thing, and trust me, I think I got home from work one day and I knew I wasn't working the next day. I sat there from like 3 a.m. until what's 6 hours later, 9 a.m.
9.
watching this thing. I was crying at 9 in the morning because it was that good, and I'm, like, getting emotional thinking about it. It's a really good video. If you I've already talked about my video essay article, it's gonna be number 1. Like, it's the best video essay I've seen in a long time. It's
Mm.
just so great. It earns that runtime once again, but goddamn, it is just so wonderful,
Shout
and that's
out.
what I got.
Nice.
Yeah, shout
Well,
out to that.
mine isn't as deep.
I was about to say top that.
Can't
Uh,
say mine's like a look. This almost reminds me of like the stark comparison between Everything Everywhere All at Once and the Banshees of Inisherin, where it's like, man, they're very different things. They're both great. They're very different things. For me, it's my pick goes for like an accomplishment, right? It's something that you
mm,
and I've shared, and a lot of people I would assume that are watching and listening share as well. And it's an achievement, and it's just a big moment and a bright star for the future ahead of this one
mhm.
particular thing, and something that I'm very happy for. I got very emotional when it happened. Uh, just a lot of time and effort was put into this, and you can tell that it was, and it was a great time, and I'm very happy for all these people. And for me, my internet thing of the year is the Kind of Funny studio launch.
I figured you were getting there. Halfway through, I was like, "Where's he going?" But I got you in the end.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
I'm
I'm right
just
there with
stoked
you.
for them, man. Like I know how
Keep
much
talking. I'm
work
gonna get
they
some.
put into this shit. I know how tough it got, and they got a pandemic halfway through moving studios, and they were paying for two studios at a time. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah.
I got the poster for everyone at the studio launch party. So there you go for
Yeah.
the audio. Listeners. Watch the video. There you go.
And they were paying for two studios for a little bit and work from home. And dude, back when I was like streaming regularly, that was like 2020, I think. I don't even think it was 2021, where often Nick would hop on the stream and we would play some Warzone and stuff. And back then, he was telling me how he worked X amount of hours the other day on the studio and how 14,000 things went wrong and he and Kevin had to go. That was years ago, man. I know that this has been
Mhm.
fucking blood, sweat, and tears poured into it. And I'm so happy for them. The studio is fucking insane. I hope I get to see it in person one day, but the studio is incredible. The stuff they're doing now that they're back together, it feels like coming home in a way. Like listening to
Oh
the
yeah.
I didn't realize how much it changes the dynamic when you're doing work from home until I listened to like they got into the groove again and started just having shows in person. It just changes the vibe so much. And listening to the Kind of Funny podcast just made me nostalgic in a way. So I guess ours do connect. Uh, it made me nostalgic of the old days of the Kind of Funny studio. Like and you know, it's kind of a big ending of the pandemic in a way of the chapter of like, holy shit, this is over, right? It brings a little bit of normalcy to my life and to I would assume other Kind of Funny best friends' life. So I'm very happy for them. Uh, I cried like a baby. So the Kind of Funny studio launch
Yeah.
is my internet thing of the year.
I'm right there with you. And honestly, I think that's a perfect consensus pick as well. Like I am also right there with you. I recorded my reactions when they did the stream revealing everything, and I got a little emotional as well. I'm so proud of everyone there. I know it was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to get to this point, but they've earned it. They deserve it, and it still feels like it's only the beginning because they just
It
got to the
does,
studio.
which is awesome.
Imagine like all the friends and connections and all this stuff that they've fostered over the years. And now you can think about how easy it is to get some new people in here. It's like, oh, want to come to our new studio and do stuff? Like they've already done that a couple times with like Phil Spencer coming over for the wrestling match thing they did.
Yes.
Like a bunch of other small stuff too. Like it's gonna be such a big boom for them. I can't wait to see where it takes them. And yeah, they're really good. Yeah. So here's your spoon. Here's I might actually nah, I was gonna say that. I do I have Greg? I don't think I have Greg Miller's. Greg Miller sent me something in the mail. Actually, was that this year? I don't remember. Holy shit. Long story short, either late last year or early this year, Greg sent me a copy of Anna Sale's book, The Host of Death,
Nice.
Sex, and Money,
Yes.
um, be because I randomly was on an episode of Death, Sex, and Money a long time ago when they were talking about the Black Lives Matter things,
Oh yeah.
and it was a whole connection because I talked about Spawn on Me, and it was like everything kind of connected. So, yeah, he thought of me and sent me that book, and I will send him a plastic spoon if I remember and or have the envelope that book came in.
Nice. We'll send him a
But
plastic
yeah,
spoon. We
or
could
he
get
can
it.
just watch
We could
on Twitter.
actually this is the one where I'm like, I don't have their home address, right? But like,
Makes sense to studio,
we can
yeah.
actually send them a spoon. So
Yeah, there we go.
maybe they'll send. Maybe we'll give them Miyazaki spoons too, and they could get it figured out.
Yeah, Andy will take it to him for us, right?
Andy will call him up. All
There
right.
you go.
Your internet thing of the year is the Kind of Funny Studio launch. We have two
Hell
awards
yeah.
left. Two awards left.
Ooh, drum roll.
Second to last award. In a similar vibe, I think, of like just good vibes, right? Good stuff, happy thoughts. This is the person of the year. And
Mhm.
I think we're gonna reach a consensus here. I have a good
Ooh,
feeling
really?
that we're gonna reach a consensus.
Okay. Huh. Alright. Okay, so I'll go ahead and kick this one off. I was trying to think of a good one, and it really came down to honestly, I didn't think of celebrities in this context. I wasn't thinking of anybody, like, super duper famous, but I
I
was
gave a
thinking
shout out
people
to
that
Taylor Swift just because I'm me.
well, yeah, Taylor Swift had a great year because she released an album this year, which doesn't always happen. But,
And a tour.
and a tour, very true, very true. So, good for her. She had a great year. I would say anyone who released music this year had a pretty good year. JID also tour an album. Kendrick tour an album.
Nice.
Good stuff all around. But if I'm trying to think of stuff, I went with someone who I don't know personally,
Mm.
but we're mutuals on Twitter. And if I had to think of someone who came into the year in a rough spot and is ending it very, very well, this is someone that I think deserves, some type of shout out because they overcame a lot. And this is Gene Park of the Washington
Ah,
Post.
good fucking pick, man.
Yes.
That's a great pick.
Yeah, I'm happy for this one. I was like, yeah, because I thought of him instantly, but it took me a while because I was like, I only know him from the Kirby photo he always uses for his profile pic.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wait, what's your actual fucking name? But yeah, Gene Park. If you don't know, Washington Post reporter, he does a lot of stuff on the game side specifically, and he's always been, solid dude, nice, respectful on the internet for the most part, and has good takes on video games for the most part as well, and just a very interesting life. He has done a lot of fun,
100%.
weird stuff in his life. But, at the beginning of this year, he had COVID, and it was taking him a long time to get over it. He had
Yeah.
long COVID,
It
so
hit him real hard,
he was
yeah.
yeah, hit him real hard. He was having trouble, doing a lot of basic things that, we all take for granted. He finally got to the doctor, tried to see what was up. Turns out the guy had cancer. And it was a really rough announcement. We found out, he announced it some pretty early in the year, and he spent a lot of this past year fighting it and getting it under control and trying to keep that at bay. And what do you know? Within the last month or so, he beat that cancer, and he's come back better than ever. Made a pretty much full recovery as far as his medical professionals are concerned, and yeah, I think it's just a beautiful story. I think he. I remember when he put up the video when he announced that he had it, he was like, "This is just going to be another stupid story that I tell people," and sure enough, it's another crazy story that he tells people because it is now in the past. And so,
Yeah. It's
good for him
awesome.
for beating cancer, and he's also checking off, like, things on his list now. He's like, "Oh, he there was one Final Fantasy single player game he had not beaten yet. He just beat that last
Fuck
week." So
yeah.
I'm like, "You know what? He's probably having a good ass year right now." So
He
good
is.
for you, Gene.
Started off very rough, but like he's on the up. I love that pick. I love that pick. Didn't have it on my list, but great pick. Great pick. I have my pick and then two shout outs. I already told you one of my shout outs is Taylor Swift. But moving on from that, my other shout out I don't think it's a consensus, but I want to just give love is Nibel.
Hmm. Yes, that's
Love
a
to
good pick
Nibel.
too.
They they went, and everyone in gaming Twitter still feels their departure. Nobody knows who
Mhm.
Nibel is, but man, that was a fucking great Twitter account. You know what I mean? Like one of those truly
Indeed.
where you don't know what you had until it's gone. It sucks to not have Nibel out, man. Like Nibel did such good work. It's such a shame that he didn't get the support that he wanted to allow him to make a full career out of it, and I respect his decision of stopping because it he was incredible at doing what he did, and or they were incredible at doing what they did, and that was incredibly time consuming, I'm sure,
Yes, certainly.
it's a shame that they're not around anymore in gaming Twitter, but I wish them the very best, and I had to give them a shout out just because, man, we miss Nibel, man. Like, what a fucking Twitter
Mhm.
account.
RIP to a real one. RIP
For
to a
real,
real one indeed.
for real. So sad that he didn't get the game award. My person of the year, that is the one that I think we can land on a consensus, if not Nibel. Uh, should be an easy one. Friend of the show,
Hmm.
Blessing Adeoye Jr. Man,
Okay.
what a year he
Okay.
had. Obviously,
I
with the kind of
know.
funny studio launch, talking about the last one, but man, he fucking hosted a Disney and Marvel's game showcase, dude. Like, think of that. Like, Blessing is one of the biggest example of a dude that was like one of us, right? Like we all know
Mhm.
him from the kind of funny Facebook group and the baby picture. And that was blessing for all of us for years. That's just that
Yep.
the dude with the baby picture who's funny, and I used to talk about Taylor and Kanye a lot too, right? And this motherfucker's out here truly being one of the faces of video games and hosting shows for one of the biggest entertainment companies in the fucking planet. Great year, man. Like he's on the up and up. His star is not done shining, and I just had to give him some love. Obviously, friend of the show, first and only so far guest of the Spoonful podcast. But shout out to Bless, man.
Yeah. That's a good consensus pick. I will say before I say what the consensus pick I was going to bring to this category, in the last category, my weird consensus pick I was going to bring up, the fact that r slash Kanye on Reddit turned into a Taylor
Yes,
Swift slash Holocaust memorial community.
fucking love that,
uh,
dude. That's the best thing ever.
yeah, I thought that was just a funny thing that happened.
So
So shout
good.
out to that internet thing.
Shout out
But
to the internet for that one. The internet did a good one on
yeah.
that one.
Exactly. God bless him for that one. But yeah, for this one, honestly, I was really leaning to because this is where I was thinking about the studio launch. And I was thinking it has to be some kind of funny folks. I actually went with Tim Geddes
Oh
just
yeah,
because,
dude. That's a great pick.
yeah, just because I know this studio has been a stressor on the back of everyone's back at kind of funny, but really from the outside looking in, it seemed like it was Tim and Nick and Kevin were holding the most of that weight for the
Yeah,
studio.
dude.
It just seemed like
People
it was a lot.
people
Mhm.
might not know, and kind of funny talks about it often, but like Tim is the goat of kind of funny.
Yes.
He's the man. Like I obviously if you followed me on Twitter and on social media for a while, you know that I've been Tim's biggest fan for years, and I love him, and I have and I've met him and great relationship with him, but he is the fucking backbone of kind of funny.
For
100%.
sure.
So I listen, I love that pick too.
Yeah, I kind of want to go with that one just because, like, we love Blessing. He's been on the show. I love Blessing. Like, yes, I did the whole beef thing, but that was completely out of love.
Of course.
But like, I feel like like even watching the studio live stream when they revealed it, you could tell that he
Oh,
was the most elated to finally have this thing
dude.
out there, the video floor and all that stuff. You could just tell like
It's Tim Geddes all
everyone's
over.
yes. Exactly. It was like everyone was happy that that moment was happening. It felt like a dream was coming true for that man.
Yeah.
So I
Dude,
feel like
when he
out
came
of that
out and he was crying so hard he couldn't even talk, it
mhm. Yep.
shattered me in a way that not many fucking things do. But like tears of joy, right? Like I was just so happy for him.
Mhm.
I cried like a fucking baby, man. So happy
Yep.
for him that it finally happened. He's talked that it's been a really tough year for him. So I think he earns it. I like that.
I like it. Yeah. I think Tim Geddes our consensus pick for
Shout out to
person of
Tim.
the year.
Shout out to Tim Geddes. We love you, Tim. Very
Shout out and
our very last award here, sir, is I think it's a
Ooh.
great way to end it and to wrap up 2022 for us. People who are listening or watching to this, it's already 2023, but it's a great look back at the year. I don't think we're gonna be able to have a consensus on this one because this is such a
True.
personal award. So
Indeed.
this one might just not get a Spoonie. This was just all loves and for loves and the vibes, you know?
Actually, I have something to announce. Last year, me and my girl. No, I'm kidding. It's fine.
I'll let you take the floor first. This is our
Yes.
favorite new experience of the year. Something new that you did in 2022 that stuck with you. A new experience. Take it away, sir.
Okay. It took me a while to think of a good one for this one because there's plenty of new things I've done this year. I was able to bring my friends to this nature trail that I really like, this very intense climb that they all hated me for because I didn't really adequately explain how intense it is
Great
until they got there.
story though. Great. You
Um,
got a great podcast out
oh
of
yeah,
that.
here we go. So I'm happy for that at least. I actually went to a wine tasting for the first time a couple weeks
Nice.
ago, which was a fun
Nice.
thing. Um, there's a handful of, like, new things I've done this year, but I think the thing that can sum up a lot of that stuff in one good go is putting myself out there more. I
Ooh.
have done that a l quite I'm not gonna say, like, "Oh, I've completely changed my life around it," but I have had so many positive experiences this year and so many like things that feel like I'm being brought forward in life because I'm opening myself up more. Like, example, Spoonful, the show itself. I could have easily been like, Mario, I love you, but I work too much. I'm too tired. I don't have time for another show, whatever. But no, I said, hey, no, I like doing stuff with Mario. Let's see if we can make this work. And we've been making it work. And dare I say, it's a good fucking show, this
It's
thing we got
great.
going on here.
We're having a good time.
Exactly.
I think we can give like a special shout out to Spoonful as a new thing that we did in
Oh
2022.
yeah,
Like
certainly, certainly. If not our consensus pick, because that's just too easy.
a
But
little
yeah,
masturbatory, but yes, I agree.
exactly. So yeah, I this show is a great example of that. Welcome to the thing I talk about with TL Foster and Jarrett Green. Like that show has been wonderful. Better, it's coming out way better than I ever imagined. There's a chance we might be going to a PAX panel for that at this
Fuck
point.
yeah,
So it's
dude.
like I could have easily been like, "Love y'all, don't have the time." No, I made the time for it, and here we are. And I am not gonna count my chickens before they hatch because I said this right before the show started. But I've been putting myself out there more in real life, and that might lead to some very good things for
Ooh,
myself
I
in
like that.
the somewhat near future. And I am not gonna elaborate on that because I don't think it's proper to quite yet. But if things keep going my way, I'm gonna be really happy I kept putting myself out there.
I like the
We'll
way
find
this
out.
sounds. I love the way that this
Yeah.
sounds for you, and I'm happy for you.
Yes. Oh, I love the way it sounds even more, let me tell you. But yeah, so I'm just happy that I could very easily like, it's not that I'm a recluse, like, I love hanging out with my friends and all that stuff, but I'm a homebody in general. That's just my default state, but I'm happy to be pushing myself out of that state more, and I'm being rewarded for it by life. So, yeah, love that.
That's a good one. Very happy for you. I'm glad 2022 was fulfilling for you in that way. 2022, very fulfilling year for me as well. I think it's a year of big life moments and big life changes, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's it's an easy
Elden Ring.
pick for me. Elden Ring and breaking my back are really up there. No, um, big moments, right? Big decisions. For me, it's an easy one. We did a podcast about it, right? It's getting engaged, man. Like, it's one of the happiest days of my life, and it will be, even though it was a very stressful day because Taylor Swift also released tickets earlier that day, and that was a fucking nightmare. Uh, there's nothing else I can say that hasn't been said. We did a whole podcast about it, but just such a joyous moment to share that with Jimena and to have it go well in the way that it went and just reach one of those life milestones, that what you think of your life and your life progression. That's one of the steps for a lot of people, and I'm very happy that I'm here. I never would have thought I would be here, but we're happy. It's for me. It's getting engaged. My shout out was the fact that I'm starting school, but that's a 2023 thing. I'm starting school a week actually as of
Oh,
recording this.
boy.
A
Drum
week?
roll. Actually, no drum roll. That's a long drum roll.
It's scary.
A week long, yeah.
It's a little scary. It's exciting, but it's scary. But yeah, man, I mean, getting engaged, you can't top that, man. For me, it's such a happy moment, such a happy day, and one of those that you'll remember the rest of your life.
Yeah, definitely. I think honestly, if we were to have a consensus pick, even though I'm not getting engaged anytime soon, but
That's the yeah.
I would love to put that one as. But for this
Right.
one, let's just leave it as
Let's
our
just
two
leave it
personal.
as is with the good vibes. I love that.
Yeah. So yeah, I love that pick. Yeah, congrats to y'all once again. That's
Thank
it.
you.
It hits. It hit hard when you first told me, and this whole thing happened. But like the more life you live, the things that you hear about in other people's lives, you can relate to them more, and you're like, oh, I can somewhat understand that feeling. So I'm happy that you are feeling that feeling because while I don't fully understand it yet, perhaps I'm on my way one day. That's all I'm gonna say.
You'll be on your way. You'll be on your way. I'll be happy to cheer you along as well. Emmett, this has been not only a great episode, but a great time, a great year. I want to give you a shout out again for agreeing to launch Spoonful with me. It's been a really fucking great time. I've I've loved doing this show for this year. I'm excited to see what we're going to continue doing, and I think this is just a lovely way to wrap the year up for us.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. So I real quick want to ask things next year you're excited to do as we wrap up this show.
Ooh. It goes with my shout out. It's next week I'm starting school. That's a big life change. I'm working this 1 week starting on Monday is my last week as a full-time worker. And after that I'm moving to part-time worker, full-time student. And that's a crazy life change, man, that I never thought I was going to be in. Uh if you've listened to me for a while, first of all, thank you. And second of all, you've known that I've been the guy who I've been on the beeline of like, I want to work in the games industry. I want to work for kind of funny. And I'm not saying that that totally died and it went away, but I never thought I was going to be in school. And the fact that I'm here and I'm excited for it and it was my own choice is awesome. It's such a big lifestyle change, but I'm ready to tackle it head on and I'm very excited for that. And I'm also going to try to play a lot of games at the same time. So let's see how that goes.
God bless you for that one.
I'm trying to
Yeah, I'm
keep
right
up
there
my
with
streak, but I don't know, man.
well, fingers crossed for you on that. And yeah, to answer my own question, I'm just excited to continue doing these shows that you guys have graciously hit me up for. We've been continuing. I do feel like for some reasons I'm not going to talk about yet, but I do feel like 2023 has the potential to be one of, if not just outright the greatest year of my life.
Hell yeah.
Um, of course, video games are always the thing I'm looking forward to. There's some cool games I'm excited to play. I think PlayStation's really going to come out and start really swinging with a lot more exclusives than we've had because we don't know what they have for the future, but we know Spider-Man's coming and nothing else. So I think
Yeah.
it's really going to start getting hardcore with those. But like even in my personal life, like I'm already planning. I got some friends of mine want to go to LA for WrestleMania. And I'm not a wrestling guy, but I'm not going to pass up a reason to go back to LA as an adult.
Hell yeah.
Um, and then, like I said, I might be in a PAX panel if things work out. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this because there's a lot of back-to-back weekends to ask for my job. But my family's thinking about going to New York as well. So if I
Ooh.
can manage all that this year, that's going to be great. And that's going to be, fun trips with friends, fun trips with family, fun trips with other folks. So, yeah, I'm planning on doing all that, just keeping things going. And then perhaps this will be the year that I can transition from this job that I like a lot because it pays me a lot and has good benefits and all that stuff. But perhaps maybe by the end of this year, I can get something that isn't nights and isn't potentially 12-hour nights.
Fair. Fair.
Um, I yeah, that's like the thing. That's like my main goal by the end of the year. I want to have something that's more of a standard work schedule so that we can do these shows more easily and all the other stuff that I do on the internet. So yeah, fingers crossed. That's where I'm headed.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, I hope 2023 is a great year for you. I'm looking forward to chat with you every other week during 2023 and keep this great show going and see what heights we end up in. And we'll see how it goes, man. I'm gonna have a busy year. I'm sure you are too. Thank you,
Hell yeah.
everyone at home, for watching and or listening. Let us know what was your favorite thing about 2022. You can give your own little spoonie in the comments below as well. You can
Yes,
follow
indeed.
You can follow us in at social media. I'm at Mario Nabros. Emmett is at EJSponge61. Spoonful is at Spoonful Vids. Thank you all so much for a great 2022. We're looking forward to spending 2023 with you. We'll see you then. Bye bye.